Dried beans, peas, and lentils, otherwise known as legumes or pulses, are the seeds of mature, fresh beans that have been dried. One of the oldest cultivated crops, dried beans are an excellent source of protein, dietary fiber, and complex carbohydrates. Legumes are a vital staple in many cuisines around the world. Some common varieties include chickpeas, black-eyed peas, romano, and cannellini beans. Split peas and lentils are also very popular. There are also beans such as mung, soybeans, pigeon peas, and even ones with unique names such as butterscotch calypso and adzuki. Basically, the world of dried beans is far from boring and nearly endless. Regardless of which you choose, incorporating these highly nutritious and versatile beans into your regular diet is an easy and inexpensive way to expand your cooking repertoire. The most important thing that you will learn in this lesson is that you do not need a recipe to cook dried beans. Once you learn how to bring them to an edible state, you will be able to incorporate them into an endless number of dishes. They can be transformed into a hearty and luscious soup, or they can simply be added for texture and flavor. Beans also make great salads, sides, and can also be pureed to make delicious dips. Before cooking, it is important to sort through dried beans, as small stones or debris may have been picked up during harvesting. While sorting, also discard any old, shriveled, or broken beans. Once sorted, rinse the beans to remove any dust or dirt. It is important to rinse the beans only when you are ready to soak or cook them, as moisture can cause them to ferment and rot. To soak beans simply means to rehydrate them. One of the biggest advantages to soaking is that it helps to speed up the cooking process by about 25%. Many varieties of beans hold their shape better and are less likely to fall apart due to the shorter cooking time. The outside of unsoaked beans can begin to disintegrate before they are fully cooked. This is because the water will take more time to reach the core of an unsoaked bean. For example, these mung beans were not soaked and the outside has started to disintegrate, whereas these were soaked and have held their shape nicely during cooking. Another advantage to soaking is that it helps to remove some of the indigestible sugars, which reduces some of the gassiness commonly associated with beans. However, soaking has a few disadvantages. Dark or multicolored beans lose some of their color. Take, for example, these romano beans. You can clearly see the beans that were soaked have already lost a lot of their color. Some nutrients and flavor are also lost during soaking. Basically, whether or not you choose to soak is up to you. Soaking the beans comes down to time and personal preference. Note: while dried peas and lentils must be sorted and rinsed, they do not necessarily have to be soaked before cooking due to their smaller size. When buying beans, make sure to inspect the package and look for firm, clean, whole beans. There should be a minimal amount of beans that are cracked, broken, or discolored. Also, make sure the bag doesn't have any holes. The color of the beans should be bright, and in many cases, the outside should be shiny, as older beans dull with age. Since there is usually no best before date on packages of beans, make sure to purchase them from a store with high turnover. Dried beans are best stored in a cool, dry, and dark place in a well-sealed bag or in an airtight container. Keep in mind that the longer beans are stored, the drier they will become, and will therefore require longer cooking times. While they can be stored almost indefinitely, they tend to lose flavor and can become stale over time. Any leftover cooked beans can be stored in the refrigerator for 4 to 5 days, or frozen up to 6 months.